Shalom, fellow Ambazonians. Good morning. Today na Sunday number 19 day for this month of March 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, una own countryman, Mr. No Connie, Ambazonian FBI. I don come again today with another episode of our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, we bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, to the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, the episode for today is be titled Epasa Moto and Abdul Karim. Fellow Ambazonians, just 3 days after a Buea University student for the Faculty of Political Science and Law, as he like me they call it, Honorable Linus Fonte, is dead with one other student and one other missing after the Cameroon military he can't take them for their house, the Buea mountain. The gods of the land have spoken in an angry fashion, launching a flood that starts from the colonial governor's office to downtown while washing through our streets and the market of Buea. Epasa Moto have spoken. The gods are angry. The land of Buea, the land where the first white man who approached our shores in the Ambas Bay, call it the chariot of fire. That star, that city on a hilltop, Buea, the light of Ambazonia, the gods of that land, of the Bakwere land, have spoken. Epasa Moto have sent out a flood to remind our people that the land have been desecrated. The dead body of an innocent, a student, was trampled upon. Even after his death, innocent blood. The Cameroon military commander, Eweme John Eko, steps on the head of an innocent student that they have killed in the name of Ambazonian war, claiming that this innocent boy was an Ambazonian fighter. He killed him, trampled upon his face, desecrated his body against international law, against our custom, and our people failed to rise up. Maybe so as a result of the terrorism that the Cameroon government have constantly reminding them with a lot of kale, torture, killing, disappearance, from Wazizi to now Fonte Linus. Nevertheless, the gods are angry. The land have been desecrated. We need to clean our land from John Eweme Eko. Actions will be taken. I promise you, missions are being planned actively. Epasa Moto have also spoken. The gods are with our soldiers and are with our youth, and we call on everybody. This is a collective struggle. Every single Ambazonia in the land of the Buasa, in the land of Bakwere, should step up and take action to eliminate this curse that has been brought to our land, this stain, this taboo that have been brought to our land by the elite who have joined the CPDM occultic regime, thinking that somehow they can destroy Ambazonians' plight by using terrorism, desecration, to turn away our people from their plight for freedom. They think that somehow they can instigate our population to divide us and rule us by targeting specific people who comes from the land, from the Savannah states. They repeat it every time, and this is a mantra that comes from Peter Mafani Musonge, the head of the Cameroon corruption wing called the Bilingualism Committee, which we know holds the budget to bribe Ambazonians to give up their fight for freedom. These are the scripts that are being pushed by Moki Charles, who also wants to become the representative of Paul Biya, the so-called senator in Buea. These are the scripts they have been pushing, thinking that an anti-Bamenda or anti-so-called Northwest is going to work. Our people knows better. Honorable Linus Fonte was a champion of human rights in Buea, fighting not for the Bamenda man or the people from the so-called Northwest. He has lost his life because he stood up for the youth that were picked up in Mauto. And we are going to provide the evidence and detailed information from what our investigators have gathered on the land. He was targeted because he made a post on Facebook, and the Cameroon propagandists, Clovis, and the rest, they pick up on it. And when Linus went to school in the campus, he kept on complaining that the Cameroon military is terrorizing our people and they should release those who have been kidnapped in Moto. That is why he was reported as somebody who supports Ambazonia, and he died for the people of the Atlantic state. The man of Bamenda, the right hand, the most populous town, is the strong hand of the Bakwere people. Make no mistake, the love for the Bakwere man towards the Bayangi man is even more colder. We know all these things. Ambazonia is one, and no canker worm shall divide us. We are one and indivisible. The gods are angry, and they stand by the blood of the innocent. Linus Fonte and all Bakwere people, Boassa people, should rise up to the occasion and stand up and fight for their kingsman. As we join hand in hand, Bamenda, Buea, Kumba, Manfe, Miselele, hands together to eliminate the Bulu Beti tribe that have invaded our land. The Bulu Beti colonialists who drove away our people from Manu, who drove them away from Kwakwa, who destroyed Ekona and are destroying the future of our land. We shall fight together as one man against the common enemy. Our naivety in the past has led us, our Bakwere brothers, to even sell land to the Bulu Beti people who came into our land strategically to own that land. And today in Buea, we have the only land in Bakwere that has been called a Bulu land. That was a blind side, and it was foolishness on our part. We shall reverse it. We know in our tradition we give the names of Kwata. You have Hausa Kwata, you have Bali Kwata, you have Boom Kwata, you have all the Kwatas. But never have we named a village in our land called the Bulu village in Buea. We will change it. Anyway, that land was designated by our Bayangi, by our Bakwere chiefs, to be a land for the blind. Indeed, ironically, it has shown us that it is a blind spot. We must come together to fight away the invader and the colonizer of our land. And those who have desecrated our land must go with them. Peter Mafani Musonge, Charles Moki, those who have hired this Turk, Eko John Eweme, must be cleansed out of our land, and they must be done so. It must be done so as soon as possible. Anybody who can volunteer, who is in a unique position to carry action against these individuals that have desecrated our land, should come forward, and we will facilitate the process. Fellow Ambazonians, Abdul Karim, the Muslim scholar, have put out another message. He has sent out another message from his concentration camp in Kondengi. It has been 7 months without any indictment or without any official charges being fired against Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim is an Ambazonian activist. He was arrested by the Cameroon colonial forces in Bamenda alongside his cousin, Rubio, whose only crime was that he said that he was Abdul Karim's driver. So for 7 months, Rubio have been in prison for no charges simply because he said he was Abdul Karim's driver. They were also picked up alongside with Suleimanu Yenkong in November 19 in Bamenda. Since then, Comrade Abdul Karim have been in Kondengi concentration camp without any charge. We have been informed that he will be charged soon. That is 7 months, which make it illegal under any standard. Comrade Abdul Karim have proven himself to be a man of many words and have shown us a very good example. The first letter we received from Abdul Karim, in which he wrote a letter that is titled Compromised. In this letter, I will read as follows. Abdul Karim said, "The word compromise has been misused amongst our cycles. There are two basic definitions of the term compromised. The first one has to do with the term of an agreement, while the second denotes the acceptance of a lower standard than expected. By virtue of the fact that prisoners of conscience are behind enemy's bar, deprived of vital information, unable to study freely, unable to speak freely, mixed with all kinds of criminals including spies, faced with horrendous difficulties, starved almost to death, lack of touch of their women, weakened in spirit, desire to be free from jail, etc., one can argue that prisoners of conscience are compromised. This, however, does not mean that they are traitors. They are all traitors. The word compromise does not imply betrayal. I opine in strong, serious terms that as a prisoner of war, our participation in pursuit of justice for the people of Southern Cameroon should be best remains as advisory, but active. We must recognize our compromised position and save our populace the trouble of diplomatic backlash, failure, and missteps as a result of compromised instructions given from a compromised position. We must be actively participating, but so we must and should do so advisors only, not decision makers. Signed, Abdul Karim Ali. This was the first message we had from Abdul Karim, who says that the fact that he is in prison has made him a compromised person. This is very honorable for him to accept this fact. And it is an example. We have seen political prisoners of Ambazonia who are trying to make decisions or run the revolution from prison. Abdul Karim stated in his first message that because of the difficulties, the mere fact that you have been deprived from your freedom makes you a little bit compromised. And people should not look upon those who are in prison for decision making, but they should participate in an advisory role only and should not engage in diplomatic engagement and other stuff. This is somebody speaking from behind enemy lines. And we appreciate and admire the spirit of Abdul Karim. These are the spirit of a true and honest fighter. When we talk of Nelson Mandela, this is what we expect. And we continue to pray for Abdul Karim's family and to stand behind him as he prepares to be charged by the colonizer. Abdul Karim have released the second message, which is yesterday, and the message is even more inspiring, and I want to read for our people. The message reads as follows. Comrades versus clients for Southern Cameroon's lawyers practicing in the Cameroons with S, he writes. If any lawyer consider me a client, please don't appear for me. Don't represent me or speak for me. I need comrades to represent me legally. I need lawyers who can die for me as I die for them. I need believers in my cause to defend my cause. I am not a criminal. I don't do fraud, scam. I don't kill. I don't steal. I don't rape. I don't bear false witness. I don't do unto others what I don't want them to do unto me. I don't oppress anyone. Me and over 1,500 of our people detained in cell and incarcerated in jail deserve comradeship, not business to business or business to clients relationship with our legal teachers and experts. There isn't a group of Southern Cameroonians or an individual who can pay our lawyers worth the name. But once a lawyer considers us as clients, they are A, not willing to face our fate. B, they are accompanying us to the slaughterhouse full scale. How then would such defense defend our truth in the court whose only mission is to bury us until we are fully conquered? By dictionary definition, a client is a person or organization using the service of a lawyer or other professional persons. These services are in exchange for something remunerations, which I consider fallacious in the case of the struggle like ours. It is true that our lawyers require resources to execute national duties, but this cannot come from the perspective of clients to service provider. I did argue that only a comrade should qualify to appear for another, trusting the very bird that destroys your root for its nest is madness of the devil's order. We shall answer for our actions and inactions, our greed and sacrifices, and our politics and service. Abdul Karim, he signs. This is a very powerful message coming from jail We have seen from disgraced lawyer Barrister Frujon So, who was charging millions for the defense of the legal team of Seseko Ayoktabi, money that could be used to help elevate the pain of the political prisoners that were being charged and charged and charged. Only in Ambazonia have we seen such cases. Nelson Mandela's lawyers team were providing services for free. It was their own sacrifices for their own people. Only in Ambazonia do our lawyers charge us money, charge those who are in prisons money. It is a very sad reminder that Abdul Karim have wide opened our eyes to this fact that we are supposed to be fighting a selfless war. How many times do some soldiers been polluted with money from the diaspora that some soldiers are now asking for pay? They are asking for salaries. We have seen activists in the diaspora, Chris Anu, openly stating that go the chop for place with tie. If they no give him money, I go carry my hand for a head as he talk go give him for La Republique. We have been polluted by the corruption of La République du Cameroon, and we don't know our left to right. A liberation struggle is a selfless one, and everybody who fights must be willing to sacrifice and lay down everything for the cause of our freedom. Nobody should be on salary. People have to make a living, of course, but nobody should come with the attitude of clients and business transaction in our liberation struggle. It is a selfless struggle. We must all sacrifice, and we must all also support those who are making the sacrifices, and especially those who are behind bar in the case of Abdul Karim. We give him 21 gun salute, and we continue to pray for the family members of our political prisoners who are lavishing in pains that we can never even imagine behind enemy's line. We will fight, we will put down everything we have to make sure that they are free, as well as the 8 million Ambazonians at home and abroad who are also in prison in this system of La République du Cameroon colonialism. We are all not free men. Our citizenship, our identity, our history have been criminalized. Our diaspora cannot return back to home. Our fighters in the bush, our people are unable to speak up their mind. We are all in this together. Capo Daniel, looking out for you. Signing off.